Am I on? Are we live? Type a 1 in the chat if you could see me. It's weird on my end. Ah, thank God. Sorry, I've been sitting here playing with it for the last 10 minutes. My studio screen froze. I had everything else going, and it wasn't working. It's always something. It's always something, isn't it? All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. I wasn't even going to start this early. I was planning on doing the show later, but when I woke up to the news, I'm like, you know what? I want to go right away. I have most of the clips. I'm doing good. How are all you guys? How's everybody feeling today? Oh, you can't wait to hear what I'm about to say. I'm gonna try to keep it positive. Right now, there's just so much propaganda going on, and there's just so much negative energy going on both sides. You either have everybody that's trying to act like this is a good thing and that we should be cheering it on, which we shouldn't. And then we have the other side just trying to like gaslight, talking about from the political perspective, trying to just gaslight and blame the other side like they're not in on it too. And we're going to get into that. And I'm going to show you why that, and a lot of people disagree with me, but I've been saying that this election, this past election, it did not matter. What's happening today was going to happen regardless of who was in office, whether it was Trump or Kamala or anybody else that was running. It's just it seems that it was inevitable, especially with the releasing of the files and understanding exactly what was going on and how deep everything went, that it was going to happen regardless. But to get started, I don't know about you guys, I did not watch what Trump said yet, and I do want to watch. So, I don't want to waste any more time. Oh, yo, it's always something, I swear. Why is the audio messing with me now? Ba, 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 ba. As I say that I don't want to waste any more time, right? Sounds about right.
The United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1980,
see, right now he's trying to give us a breakdown of history, which is actually it's actually kind of funny, because especially when you consider other parts of history from different nations, both allies and opposition, and what they have done. I mean, if you wanted to go that route and make a list of reasons to strike countries and reasons to go to war, I mean, we could probably check a lot of boxes. A lot of boxes from countries that we consider to be opposition, and countries we consider to be allies. So I don't need to listen about hostages in the 80s and the 90s. We're going to hear about that from BB anyway. So let's just fast forward a little bit.
The regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October.
He wants to talk about proxies now.
7th attacks on Israel.
Was it though? Was it
slaughtering
though?
more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It
Right.
doomed their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening.
Wait. Let me get this straight. So Trump is trying to say that it was Iran that did not want to make the deal. Iran did not want to make the deal. You sure it wasn't the people that gave you hundreds of millions of dollars in donations that didn't want to make the deal? Because I think if we look at all parties involved, I don't see why Iran wouldn't want to make the deal. I mean, think about it. When, and now he's talking about the flip flops. They wanted to make the deal, they didn't want to make the deal. I mean, last year we struck Iran. We destroyed the nuclear facilities, then we didn't destroy the nuclear facilities. It's like, we wanted the war, then we didn't want the war. And when we struck Iran, they struck back, but it was more political, and they gave everybody the heads up so that people could leave and shoot the missiles down, and there was no casualties. So it's really hard to believe, like looking at history and everything that's gone on, that Iran didn't want to make the deal. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Everything going on right now and what's going to happen in response to this, I do not believe that there was not a path through diplomacy that could have avoided this bloodshed.
They just wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades. They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles that can now threaten our very good friends and allies in Europe, our troops stationed.
Let's be real about these long-range missiles, okay? Whether or not it's true that they were developing them, that they can develop them, Russia already has them. I'm pretty sure China already has them. If Iran really, really wanted to get their hands on them, and they really, really wanted to use them, they probably would have done it, and they could probably do it anyway. All this war is doing is giving them a reason to use them.
Overseas and could soon reach the American homeland. Just imagine how emboldened this regime would be if they ever had and actually were armed with nuclear weapons as a means to deliver their message. For these,
I know, right? Just imagine if Iran had nuclear weapons, like how much more dangerous the world would be. Just imagine if Einstein was working for Iran. I mean, then they'd really be practicing evil, right? Right? If Iran had illegal nuclear weapons and had people like Einstein and Maxwell working for them, like, oh my God, imagine what they could do. Imagine the power they would have. Imagine they could blackmail. Imagine if Iran snuck in and bought all of our freaking media. Imagine if there was an American citizen with that with Iranian that was very pro-Iran that just started buying up all the news. Like, imagine the detrimental effects that could have on our country.
These reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We're going to announce.
Again, obliterated? Okay, so was the nuclear facility obliterated the first time or not? Because you've kind of flip-flopped on that in the past year, and I still don't really know.
Annihilate their Navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces and no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound and kill thousands and thousands of people, including many Americans. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon. This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces. I built and rebuilt our.
Just do me a favor. Think about everything he's saying right now because it's going to matter. It's going to matter. Nobody should threaten the United States Armed Forces, right? Nobody. Nobody means nobody.
Our military in my first administration, and there is no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission. We pray for every.
Well, whose future? Whose future are you doing this for? Because I don't think any Americans want this war. I don't think that we have anything to gain. We have everything to lose and nothing to gain. And you're sitting there saying that Americans are going to die, but it's for our future, not their future. Whose future? The soldiers that are going to die? Their parents that are going to lose their kids? Their wives that are going to become widows? Their children that are going to have to grow up without a father? Whose future is this for? Whose? Oh, your kids, your grandkids, right? You know, all you scumbags in politics, all the politicians that talk all this crap but never have to freaking lace a boot once in your life. Yeah, your futures are going to be real bright. But what about the American people? What happened with Afghanistan? You went into Afghanistan and we got an opioid epidemic. You went into Iraq and you destabilized the whole region. We spent $8 trillion. We ended up going into one of the biggest financial crises in 2008 that we ever had since the Great Depression. All of these wars, they've never done anything for the American people. They've benefited some people, but not us. It's not, believe me, when he's saying, oh, for a better future, he's not talking about your future. He's not talking about your kids' future. You know what we're going to have in our future? We're going to have AI mass surveillance by scumbags like Larry Ellison, the same guy who just bought Paramount and Warner Brothers, and he's got deals with OpenAI, who just got the contract with the Department of War. The same Larry Ellison that's the #1 individual donor of the IDF. Like, you see where this is going? So whose future is really benefiting from all this? Because so far, like the Americans that are against this, the people born in America, born in the America where the freedom of speech is our birthright, we're speaking up online and we're getting people sent to our houses. We're getting profiled. We're dealing with geofencing. I mean, I'm not going to point anybody out or say anybody's names, but I have somebody who's watching this right now that's been targeted from geofencing, that had somebody go to their house this week. This week. So who exactly is he talking about?
Every service member as they selflessly.
Hit a 1 in the comments if you agree with what I said. And if you disagree, that's okay too. You're just as welcome as everybody else. And if you're in the chat, if someone does disagree, please be nice to them, because this is not an echo chamber. I want to open up a platform for honest debates where everybody is safe, everybody is welcome. I don't care if you're from Israel and you're for all this, you're just as welcome as everybody else. And if that does happen, because I just want to let you guys know now, I do have friends that are from Israel that I go back and forth with, and I don't know if they are, the happiest with me lately, but if I could get them to come onto this and get involved in this chat, I want everyone to be respectful. Okay? That's what I'm talking about when I say that we are the light. Because if we are going to get through this and we are going to show everybody that we are right, we have to be right. We have to be better. We have to be respectful. You're not going to see me on here wishing ill on people and celebrating when bad things happen to them. I'm hoping that everybody can repent and that we can all use our resources to make the world a better place, that we can fulfill our potential. Because all of this death, all of this war, all of this bloodshed, all of this propaganda, it's not doing anything for us. It wasn't created by us. It was created by them to control us and to be weaponized to use against us. And the only way we are going to break free is if we do things the right way. And if we find Jesus. And if we treat everybody with respect. And we cherish our Constitution. And even if someone doesn't believe in Jesus, you still respect them just as much. You don't come up with derogatory nicknames behind their back. You don't rewrite your whole scripture and talk about how the people, the gods that they worship are burning in hell and that their mothers are whores, or that, come up with derogatory names and say that it's okay to R them, to steal from them, to hurt them, to lie to them, to cheat them. No, you treat everybody equal. You treat everybody with respect.
Risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran. We ask God to protect all of our heroes in harm's way, and we trust that with his help, the men and women of the armed forces will prevail. We have the greatest in the world, and they will prevail. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, and all of the police, I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or, in the alternative, face certain death. So, lay down your arms. You will be treated fairly with total immunity, or you will face.
How is Trump going to say that countries that a country that he just bombed, we just bombed them? From what I understand, and I got to get this checked because I don't trust anything when I first see it. I got to do a little research, but to my understanding, a school got bombed with almost 100 kids killed. How is he going to have the balls right now to tell everybody to lay down their weapons while he's radicalizing them? Because believe me, if you want to radicalize anybody, the easiest way to do it is to kill their kids.
Certain death. Finally, to the great proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only.
He sits there saying that. Meanwhile, he's the leader of America, and America isn't even our own country anymore. He has no credibility. He has no credibility. He's literally speaking in an echo chamber. He's speaking to the people that just believe him, that believe the lies, that buy up the propaganda, and that don't know what we know.
Chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. May God bless the brave men and women of America's armed forces. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Yeah, not his best speech. But then again, a lot of his speeches haven't been his best speech lately. Let's see, what else we got here? Jackson Hinkle says, Trump is attacking Iran, and this is what Los Angeles looks like. I guess the message here is pretty clear. It's, why don't we fix our own country before we start destroying others? You got to take care of your house first. You have to take care of your family first. You have to take care of your health first. What do you think Charlie would say?
Yeah, you're going to have to earn our trust on this one. This is more Israel pushing for Iran, but is that America's problem? That's a question. I mean, maybe the answer is yes. Maybe the answer is, you know what? They were wrong about Iraq. They were wrong about Syria. They were wrong about Afghanistan. They were wrong about the Taliban. They were wrong about Libya. They were wrong about the Arab Spring. They were wrong about Yemen. They were wrong about the Arabian Peninsula. They were wrong about the 9/11 hijackers being Saudi Arabian. But hey, 10th time's a charm. This time we're actually right.
Yeah, I'm sure. This time we're actually right. And I'm sure that speeches like this, that he was never going to bend on, has absolutely nothing to do with why he's not here anymore. And this guy, I like this guy a lot. I cannot pronounce his last name. If anybody knows how to, please let me know. I just call him Eric M. But this guy is awesome. Definitely give him a follow. Well, let me scroll up. How do you pronounce that? Mutzos? I don't know. Someone's got to tell me. Mad, that's your homework. You got to call me later and let me know.
Well, exactly what many of us have been trying to warn about just happened. And this is being reported on multiple channels, except for mainstream media in America. I wonder why. So now let's hear from President Trump on the justification on why we want to head into another fake manufactured war in the Middle East for Israel.
The United States military began. You have.
I'm just
said a
skipping
lot
it.
of
We already heard
Americans
it.
are probably going to die. He knew that going in, just like the Bushes knew that a lot of Americans were going to die for fake manufactured war in the Middle East for Israel. I'll bet there's a few in the military right now who actually know what's happening behind the scenes.
This has never been about nuclear weapons. This has been about Israel's regional hegemony in the Middle East. Israel wants to topple the Iranian regime, period. That was negotiated. Trump ripped it up. The Iranians have come back every year to say, we don't want a nuclear weapon. We want negotiations. The United States does not accept yes for an answer because it works for the government of Israel.
He promised us this wouldn't happen. He campaigned and said that he was going to make America great again. No new wars. He lied. He sold you and he sold me out for Israel. I'm angry. I'm devastated. I feel betrayed. And you should too.
You know what, though? Sorry. You know what, though? And you guys know that I'm always objective, right? And everybody's going to say, oh, for Israel. Listen, at the end of the day, America has been doing this since before Israel was even founded. Since before Israel existed as a nation, America has been doing this. The people that run America have been profiting off of wars. So, yeah, as much as guilt as Israel has in all this, when I talk about individual accountability, I'm not going to just pass the buck on them either. We need to hold our own people accountable. Okay? The military industrial complex, the people that manufacture the weapons, Boeing, the oil companies, the Rockefellers, they've been doing this shit since before Israel even existed. So yeah, Israel has a lot of responsibility. Israel obviously wants this to happen, but it's not all them. Do not get that twisted. We need to hold everybody accountable. Everybody who's been profiting, everybody who's been getting rich and acquiring generational wealth at our expense, on our tax-paid dollars, on our children's blood, our parents' blood, our grandparents' blood. So yeah, let's keep things into perspective. Let's not get too carried away with the Israel stuff, because the second you do that, then all of a sudden you do start slipping into like the anti-Semitism. You have to keep it objective. You have to keep it fair, and accountability needs to be spread around in the right way. Sorry, I'm like so flustered right now thinking about this. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to come off more professional. I'm going to just be calm and straight-faced and cool. But, then I look and I see a school getting bombed day one. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, what the hell, man? Like, we've seen this before. Like, I'm 37 years old. I was 12 years old when 9/11 happened. Like, I lived through this crap. I have a daughter now that's 13, the same age that I was. And it's like the whole cycle's repeating. Except now, she has less rights, less opportunities, less safety, and more surveillance, and higher taxes than I had when I was her age. It's like, that's not how this is supposed to work. All this technology, all these advancements, things are supposed to be getting better. Things are supposed to be getting easier. They're supposed to be getting cheaper. We're supposed to be safer. Do any of you feel safer now than you did last year, the year before? If you're my age or older, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago? I don't think that there's been a generation or there's been a time where Americans feel like they're in more danger, or at least the Americans that really know what's going on, that feel like they're in this much danger since the Cold War, when students had to hide under desks doing drills in case the big one hits. Like it would have mattered. Like even that, it's like psychological warfare, just manipulating children and just like molding them with these ideologies. It's horrible. It's horrible. That's why I wish I could get my older one out of school. My younger one will never step foot in a public school. If you guys, if you still have kids and you're not in like weird custody issues, like I would look into homeschooling right away. Right away. It's the only way. If we're going to break this cycle, if we're going to change this country, we have to change everything. We need to change everything about how it operates, because we've been getting led like freaking lambs to the slaughter. And it needs to stop. We need to break the cycle. We need to break the chain. And we have to do it ourselves. Nobody's coming to save us. Nobody is coming to save us. You can't just like sit around and wait and hope that things are going to get better, okay? Because it's never going to happen. At the same time, that doesn't mean that you sit there and try to like pretend you're going to like lead some revolution or think that like, oh yeah, we're going to have a civil war. Like, no. Okay, that's just retarded. And I'm sorry to use that word if it offends anybody, like whatever, but it just is, okay? Things need to be done the right way. The same way that I believe that our problems in Iran could get fixed with diplomacy, I believe that it could happen here in America. We have way more power than we realize, especially because there are so many of us. There are so many of us. But the problem is everybody is so separated from each other and separated from God that their priorities are so backwards. Everybody's just stuck on the mouse wheel. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to lose my job. I got to work. I got to pay the mortgage. I got to pay the bills. I got to do this. I got to do that. I'll be honest with you guys. I have not paid a single one of my bills in 2 months. In 2 months, because instead of like working and doing, what I got to do to pay all those bills, I've been trying to grow this channel. And I know that I'm going to get to a point, it's going to grow and I'm going to balance out, but like for now, like my credit's getting tanked, like way under 5, you know what I mean? Like, but whatever, like I don't care. I don't care because I believe in God. I believe in this country. I believe in you guys the same way like the people that watch me believe in me. I believe in you guys too. That's why I tell you, email me. And you guys know, anybody who sent me an email, you've all gotten an email back. Yes or no? Type a 1 in the chat if you signed up to the email and message me and I message you back. If you sent me something this morning, I might have missed it, but anybody else has gotten it. Like there has to be, you have to be willing to make sacrifices. If you want real change, if you want things to happen, you have to be willing to sacrifice. And some sacrifices are going to be bigger than others. And, like, I believe in this. Like I say it all the time. Like, I am willing to die for this. Like, I really am. That's not like a clickbait gimmick that I'm going to, like, take a clip and put it on Instagram. Like, I want the world to be a better place for all of us. I have a family. I have friends. I have people that I love, that I care dearly for, that most of them don't even believe the stuff that I say. They don't think that my research is credible. Like, I tell them about people like Ian Carroll and Candace Owens and Baron Coleman, and they look at me like I'm a whack job. They look at them like they're whack jobs. And then they go and they put on Fox News or CNN. And they go to parties and talk about, oh, what the hell happened to Jimmy? Like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you hear he's going by Bays now? Like, yeah, he's really freaking crazy. That guy's lost it. You know, like that's my reality. That's my reality. And that's why I've made a couple rants recently where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck everybody. Like, you know, I'm sorry to curse. I'm cutting down on the cursing, but just give me the pass for this one, you know, because like I really just like want to get it off my chest. But that's my mentality. That's how I feel. It's not that I care less about anybody or I don't want to hang out with anybody or hang out with their kids or have our kids play or anything like that. It's just like the level of disrespect, the level of ignorance, like just it's like fuck you. You know what I mean? Like that's it. Like it's not like I'm cutting you off. It's like come back to me when you wake up. You know, like when you're ready to eat that humble pie and be like, yeah, Jimmy, you were right. Like, you know a little more than I thought. Like, I fucked up. I should have knew better. Sorry, I didn't believe in you, bro. Like, yeah, then I'll be happy to answer my phone. We pick up where we left off. But until then, suck a dick. You know, like for real, for real. Ladies, I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it real. I'm going to go back to my PG-13 version of myself, but I just wanted to get that off of my chest. You know, but like, listen, if you guys have been watching me, you guys know me. You know what I mean? Like, you know me. You know where I stand in this. You know what I'm about. And like, that's what matters to me. That's why I could be making like the most clickbait thumbnails that don't have my face on it and just chasing the story and checking the algorithms and seeing what people are looking for. And I could blow this channel up. I can make it so profitable, get so much more viewers. You know what? And I probably should. I probably could have done that and then pivoted. But I said from day one, that I'm going to do this my way. I'm going to be myself. I'm not going to adjust to the algorithm and let the algorithm control me. I'm going to break the algorithm because that is what fighting censorship is about. There is no easy way out. It's like that Rocky movie, Rocky 4. Shout out to Sylvester Stallone, by the way. Fucking love that guy. Last F-bomb, promise. But there's no easy way out. You know? And if you know, you know. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, let's get back to more clips. This guy. And listen, please, for the algorithm, you know, like I said, I'm trying to break the algorithm, but I'm not trying that hard to break the algorithm. So if there's something that you want to say, but you think that it might be offensive, just type in number 7, right? Jesus, number 7 was Jesus's number, right? If I'm not mistaken. So don't say anything hateful, please. I don't want anything. Pray for him. If you want BB to change his ways and use his power to make the world a better place, and you're willing to wish him well to do that and to end this war right now, put a 7 in the chat. Like, let's pray for this fucking guy.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months.
They have.
And listen, I know you guys are going to be mad at me for saying that and you're not going to like it, but we are the light, and don't you forget it. Oh, shit. What'd I do? Yo, this has music. If this has music, I don't know.
A nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge.
All right, we know. I'm not trying to gas you guys up.
90% of having
This music, I'm just going to click through it.
is running.
We get it. We get it. We get the picture. This guy's been doing this for years. For years. All right, now let's go to YouTube. Hey, guys. Tulsi Gabbard. Shout out to Tulsi Gabbard, too. You know, I really used to love her. Wait, how come my image isn't up? Yo, what is going on? What is with all these games? There we go. Let me make sure my audio is good, because... All right, I think my audio is good. Why is this window like this? All right, sorry, I'm back. Yeah, listen, I get it. I know, like, I gotta bite my... Listen, if I'm gonna bite my tongue with the F-bombs, you guys can bite your tongue with stuff too. Do it for me. All right, anyway, you guys remember Tulsi Gabbard? Remember how Tulsi Gabbard, like, her attitude used to be? And you know, like, even in 2020, I was saying that I wanted her to be president. And everyone's like, yo, she's a Democrat. Like, what are you talking? I'm like, yeah, but she's not one of those Democrats. Like, she's like one of the good ones. And then she switched over to the Republican Party. and she's going to get the job and this and that. But let's look at the evolution of Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, where's my freaking audio? I thought I just checked this. What is going on? I'm sorry, I'm a mess.
Taking measures in line with what they actually know.
I'm looking forward to getting that briefing. I can tell you, as a soldier, I serve in the Army National Guard. I've been serving for over 16 years. I've deployed twice to the Middle East, and in Congress have served over 6 years on both the House Foreign Affairs and the Armed Services Committees. And I know two things very well. First is the high human cost of war. You know, these wars across the Middle East and Iraq, thousands of my brothers and sisters in uniform lost their lives, many more injured. And I also know the cost on the American people. You know, the trillions of dollars that we've spent since 9/11 alone on waging these wasteful regime change wars, how those wars have undermined our national security, and how they have strengthened terrorist groups like ISIS and al-Qaeda. So when we talk about a potential war with Iran, which is looking like we are walking very dangerously down that path, what I think is important for the American people to know is that a war with Iran would make the war in Iraq look like a cakewalk. The devastation and the cost would be far greater than anything we've ever experienced before.
So the president said today, when he was asked point blank, are we heading to war with Iran? He says, I hope not. Yeah. Secretary Pompeo has said that's absolutely the opposite of what we want. And so there's a lot of talk about the fact that the president has been telling his aides, I don't want this to escalate. This is absolutely not something we want to get into. You know, during the campaign, he talked all the time about getting us out of places. He does not want to be somebody who gets into foreign incursions that we don't need to. But today, this is what Senator says on the Senate floor. He described the situation as serious and potentially imminent threat to U.S. forces.
Notice the name. Notice who was saying it 6 years ago. Marco Rubio. Is anybody surprised? Is anybody surprised? And now, do you guys remember who vetted Marco Rubio back in 2016 or 2015 or whenever it was when he wanted to run for president? I'm pretty sure it was back then when he got vetted. Who they had sit down with him to find out if he was fit for, you know, to get backing by certain people. Look it up. Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison had to sit down with Marco Rubio to vet him. The same Larry Ellison that's the #1 individual donor of the IDF. The same Larry Ellison who him and his son are buying up all the mainstream media. The same Larry Ellison that owns Oracle, the software that's been the CIA's been using since the 80s. The same Larry Ellison who has the contracts for the cloud with OpenAI and ChatGPT. OpenAI and ChatGPT that just got the contract for the Department of War. The same Larry Ellison. The same Larry Ellison that said that everything's going to be great. The whole world's going to be safe. That he's going to have cameras everywhere, all over America. And everybody's going to be getting recorded all the time, 24/7. And it's constantly going to be getting analyzed through AI. That Larry Ellison. Now let's look at Tulsi Gabbard. Back in March. This is going to be very short. This is back in March of 2025. Not that long ago. Let's see what Tulsi had to say.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003. The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program.
Oh. So in March of 2025, just about 3 months before we bombed Iran and their nuclear facilities, our own intelligence said, hey, nothing to worry about with Iran. And then what did Trump say?
20 years ago, you were skeptical of...
Wait, what's playing? No, we don't want that.
A Republican administration that attacked a Middle East country on the idea of questionable intelligence of weapons of mass destruction. How is this moment different with Iran?
Well, there were no weapons of mass destruction. I never thought there were. And that was somewhat pre-nuclear. You know, there was a nuclear age, but nothing like it is today. And it looked like I'm right about the material that they've gathered already. It's a tremendous amount of material. And I think within a matter of weeks, or certainly within a matter of months, they're going to be able to have a nuclear weapon. We can't let that happen. I was very much opposed to Iraq. I said it loud and clear, but I was a civilian, but I guess I got a lot of publicity. But I was very much opposed to the Iraq war. And I actually did say, don't go in, don't go in, don't go in. But I said, if you're going to go in, keep the oil. But they didn't do that.
What intelligence do you have that Iran is building a nuclear weapon? Your intelligence community has said they have no evidence that they are at this point.
Well, then my intelligence community is wrong. Who in the intelligence community said that?
Your director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard.
She's wrong.
Yo, Advance, thank you for sending those gifts. I see them. Thank you for gifting the memberships. Just so you guys know, I will be doing the first members live tomorrow. It will be for all levels of members, supporting and based. But we'll talk more about that later. But you notice how he's saying, oh, his intelligence community is wrong. His intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, was wrong when she said that there was no reason to believe that Iran had weapons. He was going more the Bibi, the Marco Rubio route. Now, keep in mind, that same Tulsi Gabbard, her and her people, wanted to do an investigation to see if there was any foreign involvement when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And he was shot down. I shouldn't say shot down. That's the wrong analogy. But you understand, they were turned down from doing that investigation to see if there was any foreign involvement in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Why wouldn't they want to find out for sure? Why wouldn't they want to know? What did they have to hide? And now, actually, no, let me go back to this. And now, you know how I keep telling you guys? You know how I keep saying that these elections don't really seem to matter? And that what's going on today would have happened whether Kamala or Trump won the election? Let me just give you guys the proof right now, okay?
Let's hit on some foreign policy. Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
So if you have proof that Iran is building a nuclear weapon, would you take military action?
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals at this point.
She's not going to talk about hypotheticals. Well, I mean, technically, this is a hypothetical because she lost that election. But I just want you guys to understand my point. Why do you think she was saying this? You think she was saying this because Iran was a big issue? Or do you think she was saying this because she was, the polls at that point were showing that she was going to lose and she was trying to throw a little Hail Mary to get some of that support back that Trump was getting? Saying, hey, guys, I know what you want. I'll do it. I'll give you what you want if you help me elevate. Just ask Willie Brown. If you know, you know. I'm on a roll today. All right. Damn, I didn't get enough clips for you guys. Today might be short. And I just want to remind you, everyone keeps talking about, I know I played this the other day, but I'm going to play it again. Because everyone keeps talking about, oh, Iran is going to have weapons. What happens if Iran gets nuclear capabilities, right? What's going to happen if Iran has nuclear capabilities? And remember what Trump said, that they're going to find out that nobody threatens the U.S. Nobody threatens the U.S. armed forces, right? Right?
But I said, you're mistaken if you think there's never a choice. There was a choice. He said, well, what? Is it to have our weapons cut off? I said, no, let me bring you back to October 1973, during the Yom Kippur War, when Henry Kissinger instituted an arms embargo against us. He stopped the aerial resupply of our army at that point to extract diplomatic concessions from us. And what happened? What happened was an A-4 Skyhawk was parked at Tel Nof Air Base with some interesting weapons under its wings. And we told the Americans, take your eye in the sky and take a good look at the airplane that's on that runway. And the next day, the airlift started. So the guy that I was talking...
Which airlift?
To Israel.
Uh-huh.
The arms airlift.
So in other words, we threatened their...
We threatened to use unconventional weapons. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, let's leave it at that. Good idea. So, what is really going on? What is really happening, and why is it happening? And who is it going to benefit? I sure as hell don't think it's going to benefit us. I don't. I don't think that this is for us. I don't think the American people want it. And there is one more thing that I want to touch on. I don't have a clip for it, but I know right now that there are a lot of people, especially in the conservative side of the influencers and the media, that are going to try to tell you guys and show you guys footage of Iranians that are happy and that they are celebrating that this is happening. And I'm sure the parents and the families of the children at the school that got blown up are not celebrating. I mean, I could be mistaken. Maybe there was, the whole thing is bull, maybe, But I can't see that being the case. But you know what I can see being the case? Because I always say you got to try to put yourself in the other shoes, or the shoes of the other people. And you have to look at all the propaganda. Like, we see all the propaganda and the divide and conquer that goes on with us, with the Republicans and the Democrats, the left and the right. What makes you think that that is not happening in every other country? And notice how it's always a double standard. They always spin it to their favor for what they're trying to do. But, before October 7th and after, when everybody was protesting that they wanted Bibi to not only resign, but to get thrown in jail, right? Wasn't there tens of thousands of people in Israel protesting in the street because of Netanyahu's crimes? But meanwhile, Trump, who's so quick to point out certain people that are allegedly celebrating the strike at Iran, he wasn't doing anything for them. When the people of Israel wanted Bibi to step down and face justice, Trump is over there advocating for him to have a pardon. And then we could talk about Charlie Kirk. I'm sure all you guys remember the day of and that first week when Charlie Kirk was killed. If you went on social media, especially TikTok, you saw one of like three things. You either saw the assassination happen itself, you saw people on the right that were grieving and crying and all upset, and then you saw people on the left that were celebrating and saying good. So just imagine the people in Iran, or any other country for that matter, that don't know what's going on in America. They don't understand how the American government works. They don't understand the politics. They don't understand the implications with AIPAC, and they don't know about the Einstein files. They don't know about the Bushes and all the selling out that's happened. They don't understand the military-industrial complex. They don't understand big pharma in our country and how it works, and all the lobbying that goes on, and how they're like literally poisoning us and keeping us sick on purpose to profit off of us. They don't understand all that. But you get somebody in another country that hears that Charlie Kirk, a person that they don't really know, maybe they heard about him once, maybe they never heard about him before, but they heard that he got shot in the neck. And for whatever reason, they're curious what's going on the other side of the world. Let's see what's going on in America, the big story in America. And they log on to TikTok and they want to see what happened to Charlie Kirk. And all they see is all the people that were saying, good, screw him, he's a racist, he's this, he was that, dancing around, happy that he's dead. What do you think those people that aren't from America, that don't understand what's going on, that don't understand our media, that don't understand our culture, that don't understand our government, that don't know us, what do you think their opinion is going to be of Charlie Kirk if they log on to their news and all they see is people talking crap and calling him a racist? Do you understand where I'm going with this? Do you understand how the power of the media? Do you understand how much power that Israel has right now? with Larry Ellison buying up all the media in America? Do you understand why so many people have an issue with this? Because it gets to a point on some levels where perception becomes reality. And unless you have really gone down the rabbit hole, which most of us has, that's why you're here, you're not going to understand how all this works. And a lot of people, let's face it, they just want to be lied to. They want to be lied to. They don't want to believe all the conspiracy theories. They don't want to believe that the world is so dark and everything. Like they don't want to think that, maybe it wasn't a bunch of people, from Al-Qaeda that were behind 9/11. They don't want to believe that the vaccines that they're giving to their children could be dangerous. They don't want to believe any of that. And maybe it's not true. Maybe the conspiracy theorists are wrong. Maybe all the vaccines are perfectly safe. We got nothing to worry about. God bless. That would be amazing. Maybe Al-Qaeda was 100% responsible for 9/11 and that, these really, really low, like the 0.002 probabilities of some of the things that all just happen to happen in sequence. Maybe, there's a reason it's not zero. Maybe it just happened that way. Maybe they were right. Maybe everything was just such a coincidence that they had to go out of their way to cover it up because it just looked so much worse than it was. It is totally possible. But also, maybe, just maybe, there are a couple of people in Iran that just have it all wrong. Or maybe they're influenced somehow. Or maybe there's some kind of intelligence over there. Maybe some of these people getting filmed celebrating are staged. Or maybe, just maybe, their media is just as corrupt as ours. And that you have two totally brainwashed sides with different ideologies. And one is fighting for their freedom and wants their freedom. And the other is just drinking the Kool-Aid and just trying to tell everybody that Einstein was a Democratic hoax in their own way. I'm going to give you guys a second to catch up. I have not read the chat at all. I've been I've just been going off. But what do you guys think? How are you guys doing? I'm going to slow down for a minute. Interact a little bit. We don't got a big crowd, but that's okay. I didn't expect one today. And we got Mad here. We got Envy in the house. AWC. Ellie. Marie Moon. Lemon Curd. Advance, I saw you buying some memberships. Thank you. Love and Compassion. We got McDougal in the house. Although I believe I said hello to you earlier. Shout out to McDougal. That's a real one. We got Dustin Daly. We got Duke. We got Mary. Thank you guys for being here. And remember, I'm gonna do the first members only live tomorrow. The people that are buying the support. I'm trying to do stuff for everybody, but I do got to do a little extra for the people with the memberships. I know most of the people that get the memberships, they're just doing it to support the channel and stuff anyway. But I still got to do a little something special. Oh, you love the take? Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, no, when I get on here, when I first started this show, I was trying to write scripts. I wanted to be analytical and do content like a little kind of more like Danks does it, where I'm just hitting you with the facts. And, I would work on monologues and I don't know, it just felt so robotic. And I would get nervous and I would I don't know. I just got way more comfortable. And I know I stutter a little bit. I know I repeat myself sometimes. I have my weird pauses, but it's just me. It's just me. When I'm on here, you're just getting me. I'm not getting a script. Nobody's telling me what to say. Nobody's influencing me in any way. I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I feel every time. And I'm going to do my best to try to do my research and know what I'm talking about. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, or if you guys are asking me to make a video on something and I don't really know, I might not make the video. Or maybe I'll reach out to someone that has more knowledge on the situation. I'll talk to them. Same way same reason why I haven't covered this whole Nancy Guthrie situation is because I don't know anything about it. Like, I'm not going to make a video and cover a subject. And I bring that up because a couple people have asked me about it. But I haven't followed it. I don't know, and I don't want to. Again, I'm not trying to just ride the algorithm and go for the clickbait and, speak out of pocket just to try to get views or appease people. I'm going to make the content that I believe in. I'm going to talk about the things that I'm at least somewhat knowledgeable of. Sorry. And I'm just going to be myself. Oh, man, send in the membership. Thank you. Appreciate you. No, I am going to keep doing what I'm doing. Lying about Khamenei being dead? I mean, I don't know. It's possible. Credit card, not credit care working. You love my passion? Thank you. No, I am going to keep being me. And I know, believe me, I know that you guys are here for me. I do. I know, And I think that it's really cool. Like, like I said, and let me put this up real quick for you guys, for the people that don't know. All right, so let me break it down for you guys. Wait, do I even have? I think I deleted them because they were getting in the way. Let me see. Do I have them? All right, which one is here? Okay. Thank you. Welcome, AWC, with the supporting members. All right, so yeah. So this is the membership where I get to make a couple bucks, and it just supports the channel. Helps me keep the lights on, and I'm going to make a little extra content for you guys and do some other perks and stuff. But, that's like, I don't want anyone to overextend themselves. There's two versions. There's not really much of a difference between them. Like the base, like one is the supporting member is like $6 a month. The base one is like $10 a month, which I'm going to give some like financial incentives. People are going to be getting like discounts on merch. Like right now, if you get that one, you're going to be getting a free hoodie anyway. I was doing a special the other day where some of the supporting members are getting hoodies anyway. And, as time goes on, I'm going to stop like giving them away as much and just do like discounts and whatnot. But that's that. Then I have this, and it both says become a member. But this, and I'll just cover that up for it because I'm not really trying to promote the financial stuff. But become a member now. Now, this is just a Gmail account, realbaysteam@gmail.com. If you want to reach me for any reason, whether it's to give me a tip or just to have a direct line of connection, I actually prefer that everybody email me because I have been dealing with some funny business with YouTube where like one day they cut my stream in the middle of the show. Another time the chat I don't know if it got hacked or if it was some kind of glitch, but I was having, in 1 week, I had a lot of weird things going on. So I'm like, you know what? Let me give everybody a direct line to reach me so that if something happens and I end up having to move to another platform, that I could just tell everybody where to go. And, right now, the fact that I am a really small channel, and I mean, right now, what do we got? 36 people? It's like nothing. But, the reason I think that that's cool is I'm getting to know the people that are watching. Like everybody that emails me, I'm really like, I wake up and I'm trying. At first I said, guys, I'm only going to, check it like once or twice a week. But it's been becoming a part of my routine. I get in front of the computer, I go over the content and the clips and stuff that I want to cover and, just keeping up. And I read my emails while I do it. And I try to get back to everybody. And some people send me some pretty cool stuff. I get people sending me funny pictures. I get people sending me tips and info and advice on things to cover. I have people asking me for notes. Like the other day we did web. I had a couple of you guys asking me like, hey, can you send me the chat? Which I'm pretty sure I said that I would do that. But yeah, and if anybody else is interested in that, if you guys want any notes, because I have a lot of stuff that I've investigated. And if any of you like to go down your own rabbit holes and you want to, something to cross-reference, email me. If I have it, I'll send it right over to you. You want to see what I have on certain conspiracy theories? Like I'm not harboring this stuff to make a video. Like I'm an open book. Like what's mine is yours, guys. Like for real. And if you do check out some of the stuff that I got, you might be like, holy shit. On a couple levels. You'll probably learn something new. And then, I'm sure it'll increase my credibility a little bit because you'll see just how deep that I dig into this stuff. And the places that I go, the things that I touch on, because I really, especially the theories that I've been passionate about that like I felt like affected me in some way, or just that like drive me. Like I try to find out everything. But anyway, yeah, when I talk about becoming a member of the team, I'm talking about this. The other thing, that's supporting member, like that's literally your generosity. And, shout out to the people, because there were a couple of you that said that you wanted to, donate to the channel and keep things going. And I got a couple of those emails surprised. And, that was really cool. That was really cool. So thank you. I appreciate it. Extra tax on the iPhones is dumb. Yo, I didn't even know about the extra tax on the iPhones. I couldn't believe that. I didn't even know. Every single member, like everybody that I've signed up members for to support their channels, I always do it for my iPhone. I'm overpaying too. I didn't know that. Yeah, everybody loves our money. They all love our money. Yo, you know what's really funny? Speaking of Kick, so I was telling everybody, like, oh, I'm going to be on Ian's channel, and, we're going to, like, spam it, Baze is Based. And I forgot that he's streaming on, like, 3 different things. So I got, like, a couple of people on YouTube, a couple of people on Kick, a couple of people on Twitch, and it didn't really it wasn't really noticeable the way that I thought, because I was thinking that we were all going to be in the same chat and just at the same time. So then I noticed that everybody's in Kick, and Stacy, shout out to Stacy. Stacy messaged me. She's like, yo, we're in Kick. Where are you? So I made my account, I think the night before on the live stream. Everybody told me to do it. They like literally, and yo, shout out. I know some of you were here, and it was some of you guys telling me to do it. You guys literally had me stop my stream and just put something else on the screen so that I can make my Kick account in front of you guys. Because you were worried that somebody else was going to take the name. Yo, that was awesome. I'll never forget that. But anyway, so I log on to Ian's Kick, and I'm trying to comment in the chat, and I lost my wallet. And I needed to log in my information to get the freaking $5 sub. And I was ripping my house apart for like 40 minutes trying to freaking find my wallet. And then by the time I get on there, and like everybody had already done the Baze is Based thing, and Ian wasn't feeling good, and the thing ended up getting cut short. And then a couple people asked me if I was going to go live, but I was actually feeling sick myself that day, and I had only slept 2 hours, and I just felt like death. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to sleep this off and just be energized for tomorrow. And that is why today I'm actually going to cut this short, because I'm going to go hang out with the family a little bit. But I will be back on live tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. Just so you guys know. But I'm going to stick around another 5 minutes because I want to read the chat and interact a little bit. But then I'm going to get going because I do have stuff to do, and I want to be back on later because there was other stuff that I wanted to cover. Oh, yeah, they don't really notify you when I'm live. That's why you got to send the email. I got to figure out how to do, like, I don't want to do, like, an automated thing. And if you don't want an automated email, just let me know, and I'm not going to, like, spam you or put you on a list. But I know a lot of people tell me that they don't get the notifications about when I'm going live. So I want to work out a consistent schedule of when I'm going to, and, find ways to send out my own notifications. Also, I do post about it on Facebook and Instagram. Where's that? Is it this one? Yeah. So yeah, feel free. Instagram at Real Baze. That's where I post, a lot of my viral clips. I get to edit out all my stutters and and different parts. I take some of my own words out of context to make it sound a little catchier, some hot takes. So that's always fun. And then, oh, thank you for the super. Who is that? Mary, thank you. I appreciate you. But if you want to add me on Facebook, that's my real name, Jimmy Gallagher. You'll recognize the face. And because I always post I always post on Facebook when I'm going to go live more than once, but I usually try to put a video in there when I'm going live on Instagram as well. Oh yeah, man. I know there were a couple of people. That saw me on Facebook, and like one of them said, one of them even said I look like Baze. And then one of them's like, "Oh shit, you're Baze?" Yeah, I didn't know because they were watching my content and they already followed me because they saw something I posted, and they were following me from both ways anyway. So I love that. That's why I'm keeping my Facebook with my real name. You know, because every time somebody recognizes, you know, every time someone's following me from both, and then they realize that I'm the same person, it always makes a moment, and I always think it's hysterical. Barron's story on Sunday, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that he's going to show that picture of the burn mark that he says he has. I know he said that he hasn't shown it yet because he's like using it as a way to test people. Like when he speaks to people that claim they have some kind of information and, you know, that say that they saw it or say that they know something, that he'll ask them questions that he knows that they can't answer unless they saw the picture or unless they were there. So he's like, once I reveal the picture, then all of a sudden it's gone. And all the people that were lying to me are going to know that they were lying, that I know that they were lying. So I understand in that context why he hasn't released it. I loved when he put out the 911 calls. I'm actually going to make another video really, really soon. See, I try not to, and what I was saying before about not trying to ride the algorithm, because a lot of my best videos is like when I put like Barron or Ian or Nate on my thumbnails. And I know that like that's something that like new content creators do. Like they'll put someone else that's already big on the thumbnail and then they'll like have them full screen the first couple of seconds. And I'm not knocking it, you know, because I know that it works. I know that it helps with the click rate and the analytics and all that. But like there have been a couple of times where I'm watching a video and someone does it and I'm just like, what the you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's cool and I'll keep watching it, but then sometimes I feel like I get tricked. Like I don't want anybody to ever like click on my thing and feel like they got somehow. You know, even if it's going to benefit me in the long run, like I don't know. That's why I'm really trying to go grassroots. I keep saying it and I put them on the thumbnail sometimes, don't get me wrong, but if you notice, I always put myself on it too. And like the other day, there was one person that said, "Oh, you put Ian on the thumbnail that I thought he was going to be on the show." It's like, well, you notice I said Ian Carroll's web. I didn't say, like, believe me, if I was ever going to get Ian Carroll on my show, he's going to have a much bigger presence on the thumbnail than me, and there's not going to be an S next to his name. I'm going to make it very clear on the thumbnail. That goes for anybody that's bigger than me that's going to be on my show. Like, I'm not going to, like, put myself center and put them little in the background. Like, I did that so that people know that I'm just covering him, but that it's there to help the algorithm. But I did it to make sure that they know that when they click that they're getting my show and that they just have an idea that I'm doing something related to him. Does that make sense? Seriously, chat. Let me know if I'm doing that the right way. Because I don't want you guys, like, have any of you guys ever felt like you got duped from one of my thumbnails? Yeah, I'm not trying to rush for any collabs though. Like, oh, believe me, any collab that I do is gonna be fire. Whether it's Ian, whether it's Barron, whether it's Nate, whether Candace, whoever it is. And you know what? Like, I did a collab with Danks last week that I thought was really fire. That was my first collab. Danks text me. He's like, "Yo, I'm going live. I'm sending you a link. Let's go." And I did. I went on a show and I thought it was freaking fire. Like, yeah, obviously when you get with someone that's more well known and that they already have a big following and a big platform, it's always good. Like, you're working with a pro, like, it's going to be good. But, don't be fooled because you might have some up and comers. Like, look at me. Like right now we have 15 people watching this right now. Like, you realize that, right? There's only 15 of us. And I mean, you guys seem to think that I put on a pretty good show. I might get somebody with no following at all and we might knock it out of the park. So you never know. You never know. But when it comes to the big names, like the bigger collabs, like I'm more hesitant because when I get to a point where, like, number one, I'm not going to ask them. They got to ask me. Like, I'm not going to, I'm not going to like be, like, I don't want to say the word beg, but like, I'm not going to like put people on the spot to try to help me where it's like charity. Like it has to be organic. It has to be the right time where we're both covering the right topic and that I'm bringing something to the table that they want, you know what I mean? That they're going to want me there for. Otherwise, it's not going to be a good show anyway. Like, I want to make it count. Like, if I ever get to work with Ian, and I was saying, like, yesterday, the day before, that it really doesn't matter if I never work with Ian, because me and him have the same mission. And I've let it be known that I freaking love the guy and that he's an inspiration. And he shouted me out multiple times. And even if I never got to work with him and we were just like working parallel towards the same goal, like, I'm totally cool with that. Like, it's going to be the same respect both ways, either way, you know? But like I said, if I do get to work with him or any of these other guys, it's got to be organic. It's got to be the right topic, the right time, and I want to be on my A game. I want to be on my A game. I want to really shine. I want to be able to elevate them in a way. I mean, I wouldn't elevate them in the same way that they'll elevate me, obviously, but I want to bring something to the table. I know you guys understand what I mean. But my collabos that I'm planning soon, I actually have a couple. I'm not going to say any names yet because I want to wait until they're solidified. But I've spoken to like 2 or 3 different people this week that have expressed interest in collaborating with me. And like none of them are, have channels like the size of like somebody like Ian. But that's okay because like they're growing too. Some might be a little bigger, some might be a little smaller. And like Danks, obviously, his platform's a lot bigger than mine. Like he's got like 6 times the amount of followers that I do, and that's my boy. I'm definitely going to be working with him again soon. But I got some stuff cooking. You're going to see some collaborations soon, and they're going to be the right ones at the right time. Oh, Inlight, I didn't know you were here. What's up? Oh, Marie, you like my thumbnails? Oh, I do have some news. There were a couple of people. Oh shit, Mad, you're going to be in charge of this one. I didn't even get to tell you this yet. But I was actually on the phone with Stacy last night. And I was talking to Stacy because I was on the phone with Mad the other day too. And we were talking about me having a Discord. And I was talking to Stacy yesterday, and Stacy's Discord is also going to be the official base Discord. I'm just funneling everybody onto hers. I'm not going to do my own Discord. We're just going to rock on Stacy's. So I forgot I was going to bring that up. Me and her were talking about it yesterday. Because she brought it up. She's like, you should do a Discord. I'm like, yo, everybody has a Discord. There's a Discord for Webb. There's a Discord for Danks. There's a Discord for Baron. There's a Discord for Stacy. Bays don't need a Discord. I need everybody going on everybody else's Discord talking about me, getting them to watch the show. I don't need everybody on Discord. Like, we got the email. We got a direct line. So then I'm like, yo, Stacy, like, can I just borrow your Discord? Like what's good with that Discord, Stacy? I see it over there, And she's like, you want to use my Discord for your show? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, let's be real. Stacy's a lot more famous than I am. You know what I mean? Like she is. Like Stacy is a legend. Everybody knows Stacy. Everybody loves Stacy. She supports everybody, and she needs her shine too. She's not getting on the camera. So from now on, the official Bays Discord is going to be Stacy's Discord. And Mad, I need you to get the link out there. Yeah, I'm all about the community. Like, I'm not trying to, it's just like sharing my notes. Like, I'm not trying to make everything about me. Like we are in this together. I am not trying to be the star. I'm trying to be the voice for myself, for my family, and for you. I am an ambassador. Like, that is what I'm doing. I am like a conduit for the people that follow me. That's why I make my content the way that I do. That's why I don't care if I have a big channel. I would much rather have a channel with 1,000 loyal diehards that I know are going to ride with me, that know that I'm going to ride for them, and that I can make just enough money to pay my bills and do what I got to do and give away shit, than have like this big channel and get so like corrupted by it. Because once you start going down that route and you're all worried about the analytics and this and that, then you start compromising yourself. Then maybe you don't want to make that video. Then maybe you don't want to share that opinion, because what if you get the big drop off? You know, like if people start following you because of an ideology and because of beliefs that aren't even really yours, then what do you really have? What are those people watching? Like, what do you stand for? Like, you know, like you'll notice if you watch me, there are a lot of things that you're going to hear me repeat throughout different episodes. And one thing is, and one issue that I have with a lot of these influencers, it's like, what do you stand for? You know, like you could see when people just toe the party line. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that guy. And if that means that I'm always like the underground channel and, you know, like the big names follow me, but I don't really get the big following, but the people that do follow me are there and like, you know, where like we are today. Yo, that's good. That's good. You know, I'd rather be me. I'd rather be me. You're never going to see me sell out. It's never going to happen. Oh, I see a lot of flames in the chat. All right, good. I'm glad I'm glad you guys appreciate it because I swear I'm telling the truth. Like this is it. This is it. Yeah, no, we are ride or dies. Yeah, no, it's gonna be. Yeah, yo, I wish Stacy was here right now. I wish Stacy was here, but she's a night owl. But don't worry, we'll later when I do the live at 10:30, I will make sure that I have the link for the Discord in the description, so we'll all be there. And you know, when my channel blows up, we're gonna blow up Stacy's Discord. Oh, you enter? Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm in that Discord too. Yeah, nah, you know, and that was so cool too. When people reached out to me on X, I got found on X. Who was it? Was it Cass or Cat that found me? And sent me the link saying join the Discord. I'm like, yeah, you know, of course. And then like everybody, like Duke, I know you were there. You guys like, yeah, we got Baze. I was like, oh, this is cool. You know, it feels nice to be wanted. Like it doesn't matter. Like even if you got the platform, even if, you know what I mean, like you're on camera, like you know, it feels good to be accepted. It feels good to be understood, for people to relate to you, for people to support you. You know, you don't outgrow that. You don't outgrow that. And that's why you see all these people that like they get elevated, they get rich, they get famous. All of a sudden, they don't have time for people. They don't make time for people. It's like, listen, you know, you can never forget your day ones. You can never forget your day ones. And that's just how I feel. But on that note, I am going to get going. I'm going to spend some time with the family. I love you guys. Right now by me, I don't know what time it is for you guys, but I'm Eastern time. It is 3:40. I will be back in exactly 7 hours. So I said 10:30, 10:40 p.m. Eastern time. I will be on. Like I said, send me the email. Follow me on social media. I'm going to have something fun for tonight. It's not going to be too long of a night because I do have church tomorrow. But I will be on for at least 2 hours. But I probably won't go longer than that. But remember, be kind, be grateful, do something nice for somebody, and I will see you guys later. I love you guys. Bye.